Pay attention, ladies and gentlemen. The flames are blazing right now behind me.
Blazing.
Fired up on a Wednesday, August 11th, 10:19 a.m. East Coast time, Jersey.
Yeah.
Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning, Richard.
Woo. Man, we are fired up this morning. We are fired up this morning.
Fired up.
And rightfully so. Man.
Lots of LinkedIn activity going on.
LinkedIn is on fire last night. I had a call on some of the industry veterans, bringing them out of the woodwork to set some things straight. Woo! Give me that Ric Flair. Woo! Uh-oh, Lisa's going to spit something out here.
I just couldn't swallow my coffee. So you put me on the spot. But woo!
Woo! Man, we are fired up this morning on a Wednesday. I hope you're having a good one. Quentin is here already. Oh, yeah, we're literally on fire down here. Hot, I know. It's humid, man. It is humid.
Oh, it's very humid in Jersey.
Yeah, so the heat is on the rise, but the good news is September is right around the corner. But that doesn't mean anything for right now. That means refrigeration calls are going to start pouring in again like crazy, on top of the ones we already have. Good stuff, good times, good problem to have. We're fired up though, Quentin. You may have seen that last night. I definitely tagged you. We're going to go over some of these comments. We're going to keep this conversation going because this industry is absolutely in need of stopping the non-factual chats and stopping the perspectives. There's too many different perspectives on stuff that's actually factual. We need to get to the facts of it all.
Facts. Straight facts.
Straight facts. Fired up on a Wednesday. We're spitting fire. We're spitting facts. That's what we're doing. And listen, this comes from a place of pure passion for what we do here and understanding how friggin' important the jobs that we all do are. Every single piece of the puzzle is super important. And collectively, if they work properly together, the success can be much more tremendous than it already is.
Say no to fake facts.
Yeah. Say no to fake facts. You could fact check this all day because I'm about to spit again, fire and facts. So if we go to the LinkedIn post yesterday, I was walking around our warehouse after a live and I was talking about how we perform site surveys and then we still work, even after we do these site surveys on these installations, there's still just a flat fee coming behind it. That doesn't really particularly make much sense because I could say, listen, I'm going to need 4 guys. I'm going to need this. Okay, well, you only get $1,000 for this. It still makes no sense. So we're trying to get people of the understanding what goes into these installations, and they're not cookie cutter as some might think they are. Just like the jobs you're bidding on and speccing out are not cookie cutter. And we talk. So we'll talk about Taz's comment, how it makes a little bit different sense in different customers. Different customer locations might be different. Walmarts are probably being built a certain way. All Walmarts are being built a certain way. So it might be a little bit easier to quote those jobs. But even then, there's hiccups. There's things that happen. So we're basically talking about last night on this video. We perform site surveys, but then still work at a flat rate. I think it needs to change, and every install should be billed accordingly. And I'm not saying time and material. I know we have to quote the job. And listen, if we send our certified technicians and they get their eyes on it and they see the whole scope of what's happening, we can give you a pretty damn accurate number.
Let me see if is this what we're on right now? This one?
That is it.
That's it? Okay.
That's your big boy right there.
This is the post we're talking about.
That is the post we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. So, keeping that in mind, we're going into these jobs. Again, certified technicians can absolutely give you a pretty accurate number. And The problem lies in the rushing to the site. Let's talk about the rushing. Equipment hasn't shipped yet. Job site's still under construction. You got to go do a site survey ASAP. Hurry. You want me to quote a job that the walls don't have sheetrock up? No one knows where the unit's really going to go. We're going to guess, because sometimes we get the site and they think it's going to be over here, but then we get there and they're like, "Oh no, it's going upstairs." Like it's chaos sometimes, and it happens every week. This is not like, oh, maybe once in a while. No, this happens every week. Yeah, Josh, I know you got fired up on that post. I almost fell off my couch. I was like, yes, I loved it, blazing. But I love it because it's true, it's real, and people are not talking from places that they understand or know, and that's where this fired up comes in, right? This is not about bashing. This is not about getting angry. This is not anger, by the way. This is passion to get the real stuff out there, the real facts out there, to hopefully, again, this is about impact. Fed Nation is there. It's about friggin' impact. What's Josh saying?
You can always tell when we're just super fired up because he lays that Jersey accent on thick.
It's coming out. I can't stop it. I can't hear it. You can.
I can't hear it either.
I can't hear it, but it's interesting though. When I do watch playbacks, I hear myself and I'm like, oh my God, I sound like that.
God. we do sound like that. Joey Bombazza accent.
Listen, that's Richie Mozzarella to you.
Richie Mozzarella.
That's Richie Mozzarella. Richie the Moots.
Oh man, that probably should be part of our cool down, by the way. Just accentuating our Jersey accents.
Oh, absolutely. That's who we are. Especially Hudson County, Bayonne, Jersey City area. I mean, it's just. Oh, come on. But yeah. So listen, let's. I gotta stay focused here. This is very important that we get this out to the people. So installations, ladies and gentlemen, site surveys. Let's go to the comments section. So first, I'm going to jump on. We got one here that says, not every install is the same, although the factory seems to think so. Time and material every time, all the time for my choice. That would be my choice too. Time and material. But even customers, manufacturers, nobody really wants the time and material on an installation. Even on jobs today that we're doing, if we're going to have to go in and say we walk into a unit that needs some real tender love and care, and we have to change out a gas valve, a thermostat, all these different things. We have to estimate the time, and we have to hold ourselves to it. So we, time, material, jobs, obviously they still happen, and that's the ones again we love. But we do know we need to give numbers, and our technicians are really, really good. They've been doing this a long time, and they can give you accurate numbers on materials and time. They really can. So continuing on. Let's see. I want to see. So TJ Coker, my man TJ. Flat rate is difficult, usually not profitable. Let's just stop right there. Truth. That's facts. So we talk about being profitable as a service company for decades. And Dan Deibler mentioned this too. All the stuff that's going on hasn't changed in 15 or more years. Nothing's changed. Everything's just the same on the service side. The equipment prices are going up. All these things are going up. But yet these things that we do over here, we have to bear a lot of costs. We're the ones who've taken it on the chin the most. We've lost part sales. We've lost territories. The only thing we have is our time at the end of the day. And our time is getting more and more expensive with the labor shortages and people going out and not new coming in. So TJ, yeah, on point. I think, and TJ goes on to say, I think everyone involved in the process needs to be understanding of the fact that we are all overwhelmed with the current state of affairs in the industry. Schedules are backed up due to high demand, broken supply chains and tight labor markets. Equipment, even if sold today, won't ship for weeks or months. We all need to take a breath, slow things down a bit, and provide the best quality we can. In time, the market will balance out, our schedules will become manageable, and the supply chain will be restored. Providing quality install service to our customers brings timeless value. Exactly. We're looking for the timeless value. We're looking for the longevity of it all. We're not looking to get egg on our face when we walk through the door. If you're bidding jobs and you're quoting things and your plans aren't ready and this isn't ready and you're just quoting and you're just doing things by the seat of your pants, and then now you want us to come in with you and do things by the seat of our pants, and we're the ones who are going to take it on the chin because your prices on equipment are a matter of fact. But we go into a job and you say, "Oh, well, just quote it," and we tell you 1,500, and we get there and it's a shit show, and now it's like, "Oh, this should have been 3,500 or 4,500." Who knows? We can't do things on the fly like that. And we need things to be exactly where they are. We need information. We need data. We need information as to what exactly is going to be going down on these job sites. So, and yeah, and I agree. Like we're in some really stressful, crazy times with a lot of stuff. And, I'm just talking in general. Say these times are over. This stuff still goes on. This was happening pre-pandemic. So we have another one here. Andrew Reese, who's always on point with a lot of stuff, he says, I have to tell you, flat rates almost always end in a loss. 100%. They're often in inconvenient areas with high parking costs, tolls, poorly planned executions, customer lies about current site readiness, missing materials, and on and on and on. I chalk it up like this. If I offered you a job and told you I'd pay you 4 hours a day, but you must complete every task I give you that day, and it often takes you more than 4 hours, but sometimes less, would you take it? No way. Flat rate in the field service is a joke. The variables costs can't be accounted for in a static pay plan. Costs are on the rise for everyone. It's time to pay up. Listen, I didn't create this volatile marketplace. I didn't create this world we live in. I'm just in it. Like Tupac says, I was given this world. I didn't make it.
No.
Who knows what song that's from? Do you? Are you a Tupac fan?
I am a child.
That's true. That's true. But yeah, I mean, listen, we were given this world, we didn't make it, but now we have to adapt and we have to live in it and we have to understand the things that are going on. And if you're in the food equipment industry and you're not on the service side, that's okay. Like I know you're going through stuff that I probably don't get or I don't understand. I want to learn more. And I want to get more reps and dealers and manufacturers on these lives so we can open up these conversations so we could be better for you. We want to be better too. We're not perfect, but we understand that we're in the trench every day with the fire on us and we're getting the stress calls. We're getting the urgency calls. We're getting there's a fire call. We're the ones getting those calls. And it's coming from hundreds of different places. Hey, Taz is on point. My man knows. Arkansas representing.
I already knew he would know. Taz is one of those folks that just knows all lyrics. I'm terrible with lyrics, so
yeah. But so going back to Andrew, and this really reflects a comment that came into play about averaging out. If you do enough installs, well, average out, you'll make out. So do you get out of bed every day, like Andrew says, and says, "Hey, listen, I'm going to give you 4 hours a day." And you're going to complete every task I give you but it's often going to take you more than 4 hours, but sometimes less. So you're going to get up and you're going to work for 4 hours a day, no matter what. Even if you work 10 hours, well, I'll just get paid for the 4. That's cool with me. Because if I do it enough, it'll average out. Mm-hmm. How does that make any sense, Lisa? Mm-mm. Are you getting up to do that?
Absolutely not.
So why do we have to? Why do we have to? See, that's the whole question. And I think that's been one of these things from my perspective in the industry as a younger guy coming up and, coming up in the through the ranks here with my dad and going to conferences and shows and being involved in a lot of different aspects of the service side. It's always been accept it. You just have to accept it. It's just, this is what it is. Accept it and don't talk about it. We don't talk about it. We'll talk about it in our small little circles wherever we go, but now we got to be quiet. Social media. Welcome to this world of social media. We want change, and I think we want positive change. We're not out now. And any service company, I'm not going to say I'm speaking for them all, but maybe I am. Maybe I have my ear to the ground and I understand what these service companies are going through. And listen, we want, again, profitability. We all want to be profitable. So what do we got? What's Jesus? Jesus jumped in. Jesus is a veteran.
I have to say that it can be both ways depending on the install. In new construction, most time is a loss, no matter what. But I'll show you in the life I'll show you one. maybe
Once in a lifetime.
Once in a lifetime, I get to a site that it's taking 9 months to build when it should have been done in 6 months. Too many variables, too many changes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the truth. That's exactly what we're saying, Jesus, right? I mean, you're on point. There's it can go both ways, but we don't want to flip a coin on these jobs. I don't want to say, hey, maybe I'll make $1,000 or maybe I'll make $500 here. Maybe I'll lose it, but I'll make it up on the next one.
That's not how anybody does business.
No. So the big comment yesterday. As a user of installers, I need to get pricing way before site surveys can be done. I have drawings that are not even 100% sometimes. You have enough experience to know that every install is different. But they do also all look alike. And it should average out good for you if you do enough of them. I need a number for my proposal. I almost fell off my couch last night. I was on my couch, Lisa.
You almost fell off?
I was on my couch. I was watching A&E. I was watching A&E, trying to calm my mind down before I go to bed. Mm-hmm. And I almost fell off my couch. And then you know what I had to do? I had to tag some of my industry vets, and they did not disappoint. So Joshua Canfield says, in quotes, I have drawings that are not even 100% sometimes. Pretty much says it all. If drawings are wrong, price is wrong. Most manufacturers err on the low side, or at least close to a smooth install. Do enough installs and you will find all sorts of times that things are not ready or not even close to the typical, and money given is average for easy. You lose more than win. Any of us can give you a price before coming, but it will be higher than necessary to leave room for those not even 100% drawings. With respect, disagreeing. We have to understand that if you're not even sure, you want me to be sure? How does that make sense? Just throw you a number? Cool. And I've done this before, and we'll talk about that. Like so Josh says this, and Josh Zolan even says that too. And I'm going to get to Josh Zolan's comment, who was John Blaze. It was fired up. That's the fired up comment of the week.
Before I go to that, let's just...
Josh is here, my brother.
This is in the HVACR industry also. Flat rate for warranty. We don't sell some brands because of this.
Right. And why would you? I'm with you. I get you. People want all this top-notch service, top-notch, top everything, but they don't want to pay for any of it. You know, and as a guy that's in business, a small business owner, it's a guy that's, when people come in here and give me prices for different things, I look at it and I say, yeah, I get it. These guys know their stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm going to pay for that expertise. And I'm not going to cut corners like I did that one time earlier this year. I will never cut a corner, because you do pay for it in the long run. We see it with our customers all the time. They cut corners. It just doesn't make any sense. So yeah, we're going to get to Josh's comment, but man, I mean, you talk about, back to Josh's comment last night, you want the service guy to come in and just give you a number, and like you said, so this is what I was going to talk. This is what I was going to say. We can give you a price before coming out, but it's going to be higher than necessary. I've had people reach out to me over LinkedIn, through emails, different people from all over. Hey, Rich, how much to install this 10-pan grown steamer? Well, you want to do a site survey? It's going to be 150 plus. No. No one's going to pay for a site survey. Can you just give me a ballpark of what you think it's going to be? It's a direct access in. It's apples to apples. How many times have you heard that, guys, gals? It's apples to apples. It's the same thing. Gas hookup, 120 volt. This. How many times is apples to apples? And they tell you 120 volt. You walk in, it's all 208 volt in there. Now I just dispatch a tech. We can't do nothing. Who's paying for my missed time on that? Nobody, right? So I could say I've said yeah. I said okay, $5,000. They were like $5,000, and I'm like yeah, five grand.
Just say somewhere between 1,000 and 10,000.
Exactly, Quentin. And that's what I do. I'll throw 5,000, 6,000, 7,000. I'll throw it in a quote. Installation of grown steamer, removal, disposal of another one. Whatever, grown, Cleveland, whatever steamer it is. They're all fine pieces of equipment. We service and maintain and we're certified for them all. And yeah, how many times? $7 grand. That's insane. Well, $150 will give you the real truth, but you don't want to pay for that. So I have to go now and say, I'm going to guess that I only need 1 or 2 guys to do this, and guess that I only need this much of materials. And it's the guessing game. There's no guessing. There can't be any guessing in this thing anymore. So Josh Zolan, his response, Rich Maliki, I agree with Josh Canfield, and not just because we share a name. With all due respect, you don't need to do anything of the sort. You choose to. And if all installs are the same and you bid them so often, then you can give your customer an average and be the one to bear the risk before you get a proper bid from the provider. You can guess just as well as an installer by looking at past bids. But you know that good business does not involve guessing, which is why you don't. The only reason to put a service provider in that position is so you don't have to be. Just don't ask people to run a good business. Just don't ask people trying to run a good business to do the same. I'll give 2 options on my end. 1, I don't bid without a survey, so you get a fair price and I get a fair margin. Or 2, I give you a price sight unseen that is impossible for me to lose money on. Example, $10,000. And I'll do the latter all day long if backed into a corner, but win-win is always the way to go. Don't mean to be so blunt, but that should tell you something about how this is looked at in the world of service.
Yep.
Whew. Josh put me. I fell off my couch, and then Josh put me back on my couch.
And then you fell off.
And then I just so I could fall back off again for that comment. Woo! Ric Flair.
Woo!
Woo! Loved it. So yeah, and listen, we're doing something right now. We got that. There was a mishap. There's mishaps on installations all the time because they're not always what they seem to be. 9 times out of 10, they're not what they seem to be. They may all look alike, but that doesn't mean they are alike. Yeah, I could look at a combi oven and say, yeah, it's going to go in that kitchen. And we're going to install it by the drain over there. And we're going, it's pretty simple in theory. But what happens when I get to site and now we have to go up a freight elevator and we have to go down 4 hallways and we have to go up a flight of stairs? Who do you think does that? These ovens don't magically. It's not like Bewitched, or is that I Dream of Jeannie, or whatever it is. You know,
I Dream of Jeannie.
Whatever it is, you know. And then it's just there. I mean, these people are doing these jobs.
Do that again. That was hilarious.
Right?
That's how the install get done.
That's how it's happening. But, you know, and listen, we like to have some fun while we're doing this. I mean, it's not all, you know, craziness, but what's Quentin got?
Josh's comment needs to be emailed, faxed, and sent to everyone in the sales part of the industry as the first commandment of equipment specs.
I'm going to tell you something. We might have to make this a post.
Ooh.
This should be on a t-shirt. It's a lot to read on a t-shirt.
It might be, it'll be too much of a t-shirt. But you know how you do the 10 commandments?
Yes.
Quentin might be onto something.
Yeah.
This could be a commandment.
This could be and should be a commandment, a gold collar commandment when it comes to installs. So we go on, but it'll be actually before I go on. This is where the education part comes in. This is where, you know, when you read something like Josh's comment and Andrew's and Josh Canfield's and everybody's, when you're reading all these, this is where there has to be that building bridge part. We're building the bridge. Come on, meet us in the middle and understand how things are really done. The manufacturer wants to make money. The rep and the dealer want to make money. The consultants want to make money.
Does the service industry?
The service company wants to make money. We're not doing favors out here. We don't have volunteers lining up to drive the vans. We have 6-figure men and women in the vans. More than 6 figures when you lump in health benefits and all the other perks that come with employer matches on 401ks. These are not people that are not experts. They're experts in their field. Every one of them. And they all come with a price. And I got to pay them for every single minute when that van turns on until that van turns off. And that's how we roll here. I don't get the bill for all their time. There's something called unbillable hours in the industry, Lisa. And it happens. And it's part of the business. But this is where I start to get a little perturbed. When people start discounting mine and my technicians' time on jobs that everyone thinks is cookie cutter and it'll average out for us because it ain't real. You're lying to yourself and you're being disrespectful to thousands of people across the country that are doing these jobs. So we need to stop, change the conversation, and get in the same ballpark because we could actually be more successful together. Customers are, let me tell you something. We see the anger in the customer's eyes on these job sites, on these installs. I just saw it last week, Lisa.
Yeah.
And now we're going back to redo it again. And it's going to cost more money now. But this is not really the same instance because the other things were at play with this. But nevertheless, you were going to say something.
I was just thinking about how might not be relevant, but in the housing market, when you're buying properties, it's a huge investment. So it's typical to pay $500 for an inspection or more, $1,500 for an inspection. So you know what you're getting yourself into.
Mm-hmm.
That's completely common practice.
Common.
So why balk at $150 site survey? Like, where does that? How do we stop that? Essentially, how do we stop the balking of a site survey?
Well, for one, doing what we're doing now, I think. It's. I don't know if it's ignorance is the word. I don't want to. I don't want to say people are ignorant, right? It's not. I don't know if it's that. I think it's what I really think it is that everyone's in a rush to get the check.
Okay.
That's what it really is. I think we're all smart enough in this industry. We're all smart people here. We all understand what we're doing. Everyone's in a rush to get that check. That's where I need. That's why when you get that, you see that I need to get a proposal out. I don't have the drawings. I don't have this. I don't know. Well, you're not going to know, but give me a number anyway.
I just need a number.
Because we want to close the customer. We want to close the deal. We want to get the survey. We want to get the startup. We want to get the check. I get that. We want to get the check too. But don't you want to get the check in a full amount that you feel good about and that the customer feels good about? We got some stuff going on down here.
So let me get to
Vince.
We had an install several years ago for 3 conveyor ovens in New York City. When we got to the site, I asked the customer, "Is there a basement in this building?" He said, "Of course." I said, "Let me see the floor from downstairs." The floor was a mess, and I questioned how this 8,000 pounds of ovens will not fall through the floor and wind up in the basement. The end result, the customer had to add steel in the basement to support the ovens. These are things that are not seen. And especially in old buildings over here, of course.
So, Vincent, I mean, you can't quote me that over the phone? Yeah. I mean, you've seen enough of these, man. Come on.
It'll average out. If you do that job,
worry. You might take a $4,000 loss and the ovens might be in the basement underwater when they fall through the floor, but give me a quick one. Throw me a quick one. You see how quick ones can get people in trouble? Thank God that this was done in a way that we knew we had to put steel beams up.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Someone could have died. That's the other thing. We're dealing with gas, electric, heavy equipment. How about safety talk on all this stuff? You can't just go do things. Just like we all need information and data and drawings and so do we. We're at the end of the line. We are where the rubber meets the road. So we need to know that. What's Chris Rowland got going on? Chris!
I have heard the term, win on some, lose on some. No, sir, we can no longer operate with this mindset.
No, I don't want to lose on any. I'm a New York Giants fan. Let me tell you something. It's been a brutal several years, okay? Been brutal. I'm hopeful for this season. Saquon back. Let's see what happens. But what I'm bringing that up for is they're not going out there with we'll win some, we'll lose some mentality. They want to win a championship.
Yep.
Can you imagine if all your favorite sports teams said, well, you know what? You might have lost this series, but you'll make it up on the next one. No. There's no making it up. Once you lose, you lose. That's why the pandemic is so tough. That's why my father used to hate. We have snowstorms here in the East Coast for all you guys out on the West Coast, Arizona.
Nor'easters.
We have nor'easters here. We have to close sometimes for snow. We can't get those days back. We can't get that time back. We can't collect revenue on those days. They're gone. It's over. So to win some, lose some mentality doesn't work in any sense of the word or any sense of the quote. It doesn't make sense. We don't want to win some and lose some. We want to win every day. We know being in business and in life, you don't win them all. I know that. That comes with life. That's life, Lisa.
That is life.
So, yeah. Bear down.
I was literally going to say this, Ben. My comment to that, to going back to Vinny's comment, was that he had the expertise. Someone was there with experience. You're paying for that. If you didn't, those ovens would be in the basement. But anyway, he does say it happened because an experienced person was on site to evaluate and avoided a situation that could have been a big problem.
Yeah, Vin.
That's what you're paying for.
That's where the dollars and cent dollars. That's where the dollars make sense, right? That's where the dollars make sense. The $150. I mean, we have a flat. I mean, I charge $150 to go to site and get you a site survey. I mean, come on. Give me a break. I just got to cover some time here so I don't lose my shirt. I can't do 500 site surveys for free every year. I can't do it. I can't do it. So, yeah, I mean, you're paying for the expertise. If I'm going to get anything out of this conversation and try to educate, 2 words: slow down. Slow down. Why? So when it comes time, we can hit the gas and speed up. We're falling over each other's words, over each other's information. We're falling all over the place here to get to a site that I've had customers say, "What are you doing here? What are you doing here?" Well, the manufacturer and the rep and everyone's beating us up. We got to get here. We had to get the site survey. Yeah, well, we don't know where the equipment's going yet. I know we've been calling you for 3 weeks and no one was answering. Oh, yeah, well, we're not ready. You get the GC or whoever it might be on these sites. So we're doing truck rolls. We've put things in place at this point, and I've talked about this too. I have pre-site survey forms. I have pre-installation forms that an end user now has to sign off on, telling me that their site's ready for me to come and do a site survey. And if it's not, you're going to be charged. Because I'm going to have to, now I just did a truck roll. And the site survey is done. We tell them what we need to do. We get the site is not ready. They checked off and signed off on it. You're going to be charged. If I got to deploy 2, 3, 4 guys, we're stacking things, you're going to be charged $400, $500, whatever that cost might be. I can't incur these costs no more. We're not going to keep losing. That's the whole part of this conversation. We lose thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in stuff like along these lines, in warranty rejections, tens of thousands. What other piece of the industry is losing tens of 20s of 30s of thousands of dollars a year on rejections, on truck rolls, all these things? None. The answer is goose egg. We do. That's where the conversation is coming in to create this impact of change for the positive. It's going to benefit the end user. What's Vin? Vin is on a roll.
He is, but let me get back to Josh so we don't.
Get to Josh.
I think there's a lack of trust all around, which is why this is so good, because hopefully people realize we are being real.
Yeah, that's it. And there is a lack of trust. That's another thing that we talk about, Josh. That's why I've implemented XOI technologies on our side to show the pictures and videos on everything we're doing, so the customer can see, oh wow, this is what happened. Because so many times the customer's not on site, and it also gives eyes and ears to their manufacturers that we're partnered with, so we can send them the link and they can check it out. You can see some of that. I actually just put up a new blog, MalikiCares.com. There's a blog showing that, so you can see some of the videos we're talking about that we're doing. So go to MalikiCares.com, go to the blog, and look at the last post if you want. But that's where a lot of this transparency is going to hopefully come in with the video. And I think there's this always misperception that in any industry, the service guy is out to get you. And listen, that might be true in places. I have no idea, but it ain't true here. It ain't true in a lot of these other companies that we work with. We're doing stuff. We're doing real work. We're doing it honestly. And we're building a loyal following and relationship because of it. And we're going to keep doing that. And we're going to keep this conversation going. And, the hopes is to really let people understand, the severity of the rush. I understand you guys got to get proposals out and quotes out. I get that. But it's not going to be to my downfall. So that's the whole conversation. And the other part of this conversation, Lisa, is even when we do site surveys, there's still a flat fee after it. So I can go do a site survey and I can say, okay, we need 3 guys on this.
Okay.
And we need this, and this materials. But this doesn't matter. It's still $1,000. You get $1,000. That's it. Goodbye. Even though I would probably quote it $2,300.
Okay.
In real time, in real salary, in real everything. But going back to, it averages out. It doesn't average out. We lose more times than we win. That's facts. And then there's the whole, your foot's in the door. We talked about that yesterday. My foot's not in the door. My foot's already in the door. And if it's not, it's because I don't want it there. We talk about, finding the customer fit for your business. There's a lot of places we go that those aren't just not going to be my customers. They're not going to be my customer for various reasons. I might not be there, and I might not be their service company because they just want to use the guy down the road with no insurance for $50 an hour. Godspeed. That's fine. We have choices. That's the whole point. But that's the conversation too. We need to stop with these flat fees. We need to I'm going to do a site survey, but I need to quote you. And those are the conversations that we need to change. I'm going to quote you after I do that site survey, here's what it really costs. It costs $3,500 to send 3 guys, a van, a truck, all the materials, all the labor involved, all the things we got to do. I mean, that's the way it needs to start turning. And I'm hoping that we're going to start changing that with all these conversations. And I know I'm going to definitely have to start. Listen, we have to do this on our own, in our own businesses, sit down with our partners, whoever they might be, and have honest conversations. And I think you're going to find on the other end of those phones are people that actually care and actually want you to win too. And we just got to find the happy medium. That's what it really is all about. It can't be dictatorship. It's got to be partnership. We got to find happy mediums. Because I'm not trying to hurt my manufacturers, partnerships. I'm not trying to hurt them. They're running a business too. Do we often forget that? I know we say, the manufacturer, they're running a business. Numbers, yeah, numbers matter to them too. I want them to be healthy and well too. We all need to be healthy and well. That's how we support. That's how we build. That's how we grow. That's how the customer looks and be like, wow, these guys got it together. What else?
If the rush dealer doesn't want to do due diligence, then they should leave the install pricing up to the customer to set up.
Yeah. I don't, there's a lack on before we get there, there's a high lack of, education to the end user customer going on. We're seeing it more and more. It's just about, and I've heard it. I had one of my technicians call me up and go, Rich, you're not going to believe what this guy just said to me. He's like, look, man, I just sell this stuff and I drop it and I move on to the next one. And then here we are trying to keep it all together. You just drop it and move on to the next one. This is a lot of the mentality out there. Even from this comment that we're talking about, I got to get a proposal out because it's got to get on to the next one. But we're going to be stuck doing all the real hard work in the trench, picking up the pieces after it all falls apart because we didn't have proper information and we rushed it. It's all got to come to an end. We have to start using the facts and put those things into play, not what we believe things to be or what we think things are. So what else? Do we get everybody there?
If it averages out, why are we stuck with flat fees?
If it averages out.
If it averages out, if we quote them also.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the game because we want to win. I can't grow my business if I'm not cash flow positive. I keep taking these hits. I'm trying to win championships over here, Lisa. I want to hoist the Lombardi trophy at the end of this year and go into next year and win again.
All right.
That's what I want to do. Did we get Vincent's this one?
Nope, we did not.
Let's get Vincent on this one too. He's got another one.
We also had a conveyor oven in New York City who we advised the customer in writing to put steel plates under the wheels of the ovens, and a few months later, a customer called that the conveyor was not working. When the tech got there, he found one leg of the oven fell through the floor, and the oven was leaning against the wall. He had to get a rigger and shut the gas down to the building so it was not a danger to everyone.
Amazing, unbelievable, man. I mean, this is the stuff that these are real stories. You can't make some of this stuff up. We got war stories over here for days of things that we see and do. That's crazy. But see, there's also a big safety thing going on here. We gotta cross our T's and dot our I's. If you're not ready, how can I be ready?
Exactly.
It all starts with the sale, with the construction, especially on the new construction sites. If it's not a new construction site, we still have to have data. I had someone send me pictures and they wanted a quote on something. They didn't want to pay for a site survey.
Okay.
There was a convection oven coming out. He says, I think that convection oven is 120. And I'm selling him a 208, but I think the electrician, I think the electrician's going to have this good. And I think all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, I think this is going to be $7,000. I sent them a quote for like $7,000 because I didn't know if I was going to get there and we were going to be screwed and have to wait around for electricians, or we have to come back another day. Who's going to pay for that? I built that in. I didn't know what the materials we were going to need, if we were going to have to run new lines or anything. I didn't know what was involved. I didn't know how many guys, because I didn't know the lay of the land. I didn't know if we needed genie lifts and have to deploy. I didn't know anything. So if you think, I'm going to think.
I thought you did them enough, though.
Well, they're all the same. They all look alike. So listen, this got me fired up tremendously. Look at the blaze we got going on behind us. Look at the response we're getting from the service side. We definitely got to talk to manufacturers. We definitely got to talk to reps and dealers. This can't be a one-sided conversation. And yeah, Quentin, all our ships must sail in the same direction. That's what this conversation is all about. That's what I'm looking to get to. It's all about the end user customer experience. I've said this a million times. We all pull from the same customer. All of us. In every market that we're in. If the reps in this market are selling it to the dealers are selling it to the end user, we're all pulling from the same customer. And they all need us. And they need us to be right. Not sometimes, to average it out. All of the time. They're not looking for average. They're looking for great. And I want to be great. I want our company to be great. I want our industry to be great. It's about greatness. It's not about mediocrity and maybe winning and maybe losing. No, we want to win. The customer wants to win. They're going in business to win. They're going in business to sell 500 hamburgers an hour. They're not going in business to go, well, if we sell 200 today, maybe we'll sell 800 tomorrow.
Averages up.
It'll average out. That's not what they're looking for. They're looking to win. They want 800 burgers a minute if they could. That's what it's about. It feels good to close sales. It feels good to make money. It feels good to give the hard work and go back and look at your accomplishment, and then have that customer call you and say, "Hey, thanks for getting it done. You really guys saved me." And then we get to pass things on across the whole chain. Hey, check it out. Look what they said about this. We nailed it on this one. Don't you want to nail it on everyone? I don't want to nail it on 25% or 50%. I don't want to flip coins. I want to know and I want to win. How do we know? By slowing down, listening and trusting your service company when they tell you this site's not ready. This customer's not ready. We've talked to them. We've been there. We could tell you exactly what's going on. I don't care. I need a site survey. Why? So you can send them an invoice and get your check? You're going to get the check anyway. Don't you want the check feeling good about the check? I want to feel good about the checks I get. What's Vincent? Vincent's on a roll.
It starts with the sale. Is this the right unit for the application? Does it follow the manufacturer's specs for installation? These questions are never asked. I'm fired up for sure.
Woo!
Woo!
Ric Flair in the building. I'm telling you. It starts with the sale. Yeah. I mean, there's that's really where it starts. That's where everything begins. And by the time, like I said, by the time we get there, everything should be exactly how it should be. And listen, we don't live in a perfect world, but things should be a little bit. If we did slow down, and you're listening to this, and you did slow down, and you did have more facts and more data and more information that's concrete. Now we go do the site survey. Now we give you the real deal. And these flat rates, which is what we're really talking about, these flat rates, they just don't work in 2021 anymore. Insurances are sky high. Gas and tolls are sky high. Payroll, labor rates, sky friggin' high. They ain't going backwards. So understand, our operating costs as a service company. If my father were here today, he would be looking at our expenses and be like, what the is going on? Because it's just changed. And that's okay. We have to make sure that we're crossing our T's and dotting our I's and charging accordingly. I get at this point in the world, I get every 4 to 6 months, I get emails of price increases and discount decreases. Why are you doing that? Because you want to average out on someone, or you want to make money? Because you want to make money. That's why I get those price increases and those discount decreases. That's why. I'm hip to the game. I was born at night, not last night. I know what's going on. So does everybody else on this thread. It's time to get together. Let's get some impactful change going. Let's slow it down to speed up. And let's make some money together. And let's take care of the customer. That's the bottom line. That's why I was fired up today. And now it's time for the cool down. Listen, I hope you guys and gals all have a great day. Thanks for jumping in the conversation over there. It was not expected, but yeah. Mike Reed, what's Mike saying?
Your father would say, beep this, beep, beep. If don't make money, tell them no when they call back.
Yeah. Oh, man. Like, I don't even think you know my father, but that would be my father. Old school Irish guy, a boomer, and just no filter guy. If it didn't make dollars, it didn't make sense, and he didn't really care. He demanded the respect. You didn't want to play. You didn't want to pay to play. Goodbye. See you later. Click. I can't tell you how many times there was craziness on the phones. People would show up and yell things to him out the window. Yeah. There's other stories I can't tell on the air. I'll save it for the book one day. But man, yeah. I mean, times have changed, for sure. But listen, I think this was a good fired up. I hope it hits home to people that have watched, that are going to hopefully check out the replay. Open to hearing any questions, comments, or concerns. I'm out here in the public eye, so I got to take it. If I give it, I got to take it. Yeah, we are more PC now. Corey's here. What's up, Corey?
Nothing better than a solid handshake or an empathetic thank you from a customer who really appreciates your hard work and dedication to them. Anything worth doing is worth overdoing. Fired up, Rich.
Oh, baby. As we cool down this fired up, I'm still fired up, Corey. Yeah, there is nothing better than getting that handshake and that call, that email, or whatever that is. Thank you. You just saved our dinner service. You just helped me open on time. You just did all these things. I mean, these, you see it in different posts across the industry. These guys, not all heroes wear capes. You see all that. These food equipment service techs out here, they're grinding. They're working hard. Lisa and I were out there seeing. We were part of an install last week. You see how hard this stuff is.
Yeah.
It's not easy, and sometimes these guys are in super hot kitchens, especially in the summer. They're on the floor. They got their hand in a fryer. People are all around them, working around them. They got to stop every 3 minutes just to let someone through.
knee pads to be kneeling on the ground, and it's
Yeah.
intense.
Yeah. And the knowledge that they have, they know what they're doing. I mean, so Corey, that is like the ultimate reward. That's why I say, like, when we talk about the industry and we talk about like the next generation coming in, don't just look at it from the monetary standpoint. The money's there. Great. Cool. You learn this trade, give yourself 5 years, become an expert, do some real time and learn. You're going to make a lot of money in this industry, and you're going to work with companies that are going to take care of you and your family, just like we do here at Maliki. But there's no greater reward than that hug, than that pat on the back, than that phone call, that email. I mean, Geraldine is in tears sometimes. People calling her and telling her, "Oh my God, Geraldine is not, she's a piece of that puzzle where she's moving mountains." Sometimes it really is to move a mountain. Sometimes to get a tech to a place when we have so much going on. But sometimes she can make that happen, and those phone calls come in, and you see tears welling up in her eyes, and it's like, this guy just said, "Thank you so much. I if I was there, I'd give you a big hug," and all these different things. You help. You sent your guy. The guy you sent was amazing. He really knew what he was doing. He was in and out about all these different things. That's the reward. This is an industry of service to others. That's the real reward. Quentin, right? Helping is our lifeblood.
Customers always remember when we solve a problem. When the dealer, rep, etc. makes a mistake, the service company always gets the blame. We are the unsung heroes of the trade.
I concur. I concur. It's true.
And Taz says, it starts with the right unit. Louder for the dorks in the back on their phone playing Angry Birds.
It does start with the right unit. It does. And yeah, Vincent, Vinny, yeah, we take it on the chin, man. We really do. But you know what? We could take it. We could take a hit and keep on going. What's that Sinatra song, My Way? I took the blows, and so it shows. Right? Something like that.
Something like that.
That's right. We'll keep taking the blows because we can handle it. Because we're thick-skinned. We're strong people. We're strong-minded. We know exactly what we're doing on a daily basis. And if we don't, the best part about this is we're all problem solvers. We find solutions because we don't know everything. But damned if we're not going to figure it out. That's the service industry. That's the food equipment industry. Stay fired up. Ladies and gentlemen, I need to go get some water and sit down for a minute. I'm so blazed up here. Look at this. Have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. Hump day. Make it count. Stay well. Be kind. I'll see you mañana.